Hey guys, today's video has to do with the fact that anyone that's been through narcissistic abuse winds up having to battle or work through complex PTSD, and that's challenging enough. But throw into the mix the fact that depression often follows in the aftermath of narcissistic abuse, and it just makes healing so much more challenging. Most people that have been through narcissistic abuse remember the before. It's like the before and after, right? That's the narcissistic abuse is like their ground zero. And they remember before how full of life they were, how excited they were about things, how passionate. They remember dedicating time to their hobbies, to their enjoyments, and feeling so alive. And narcissistic abuse is kind of like a vacuum to those emotions and to your soul. It's almost like through narcissistic abuse, all of those passions and that excitement gets sucked out of a person to the point that they're left almost like an empty shell. A lot of victims of narcissistic abuse, even their affect changes. They become, the way they talk changes. A lot of them become monotone. A lot of them, it's almost like everything about them is just in slow motion or disconnected from self. So in this video, I really want to explain why that happens, why depression often accompanies CPTSD and the after effects of narcissistic abuse, because I feel like when we can understand it, it helps us. I remember when I was on my own healing journey and I was going through different challenges and hurdles that come up on the healing journey. And when I didn't understand something and I didn't know why I had changed, or I didn't know why I was struggling with this or with that, it made it worse. Because my brain would be bombarded with things like, oh, why am I like this? But I wasn't like this before. Why have I changed? I don't understand. There's something wrong with me. What did I do? Why am I like this? Why can't I break through this? And when those thoughts are accompanying your healing journey, it's almost like extra baggage on your shoulders that you're carrying. The lack of understanding, the lack of emotional literacy as to what is going on and why just makes the journey harder. So with this video, I want to give you that emotional literacy to take away the mystery of what happened and why, right? And on top of it, and most important, I want to give you tools that can help you to start working through the depression. Because no, it's not something that you have to carry for the rest of your life. Absolutely not. Even though it might feel like there's no way through it. Trust me, if you stay to the end of this video, you'll get some really powerful tips that can start helping you to get back to that passionate, excited, waking up, excited for life. You'll get back to that person again. So without any further ado, let's get started. So it's not difficult to understand that if you are in a toxic relationship, or if you are in a relationship where there's so much stress, there's so much conflict, there's so much anxiety, there's so much uncertainty, there's a lack of safety, it's very easy to understand why there would be depression, right? But the truth is that if you've been through narcissistic abuse, the depression goes deeper than the fact that it's just chronic stress that you're dealing with, okay? And this is why narcissistic abuse has that term, narcissistic abuse, and it's not just called emotional abuse, because there is a component to narcissistic abuse that kind of changes the dynamics of what happens when somebody is being abused. So for example, if somebody's being mistreated in a relationship where the abuser is not a malignant narcissist, well, that person is putting them down. That person is treating them wrong, unjustly, unlovingly, cruel. They're doing things that are hurting that person, right? But that person that's in that abusive relationship is still themselves, okay? The component to narcissistic abuse, or one of the components, is the fact that you are not allowed to be you. So with that in mind, okay, we're talking about depression, right? How does that come into play? Well, remember I was saying what the person is like before the relationship, right? Maybe they're like super outgoing, super likable, they enjoy being around people, they're spunky, they have so much life to them, they're so excited about life, and they have so much high energy. Well, to a malignant narcissist, that represents what the narcissist does not have. So they view your excitement and your passion, which is coming, like bubbling out of you from inside, right? They view that as evidence or proof to what they don't have. And instead of working on themselves to get that, they feel the need to stamp out that excitement, that passion, that joy, so that they feel better about themselves. In other words, the excited, passionate, vibrant person is not allowed to have those qualities. And I know that sounds crazy, like when I say that out loud. You think, well, how could somebody not allow you to be you? And to anyone that hasn't been through narcissistic abuse, it's a good question, and it doesn't make sense. However, if you've been through narcissistic abuse, you know exactly how that happens. Every time you are excited, the malignant narcissist is miserable. They either attack you, or they put you down, or something horrible happens on a consistent basis that your brain starts to associate excitement, passion, happiness with something horrible. And this is where that coercive abuse comes in. Because what your brain starts to do is it starts to almost stop you from feeling happy, from feeling excited, passionate, vibrant, motivated, alive. It stops you. It sends out signals that this is dangerous. And what happens is the more you stop doing those things that are you, the malignant narcissist kind of rewards that. Okay, so in other words, you're happy, they start a fight. So you lose your happiness and all of a sudden they act happy with you. Another association starts taking place. As long as I shouldn't feel happy because something dangerous happens, and then if I'm not happy, then at least, you know, it's not as horrible as when I am. Now, trust me, none of this takes place on a conscious level. It's not like somebody's saying, oh, okay, I'm going to stop being happy because he doesn't like that. But your brain starts making that association. And so now, okay, this is why depression is so difficult if you've been through narcissistic abuse, because you're not only dealing with the depression because of the stress, because of the chronic fighting, the lack of joy in the relationship, the lack of peace in the relationship, but now your brain has associated passion and excitement and joy with something dangerous, and it's going to do everything in its power to keep you out of danger. That means that after the relationship is over, right? Let's say no matter what the relationship was, you decide to put boundaries down so that, you know, there's no more abuse going on. Let's say you decide to put boundaries down, whether that means changing a job, changing friends, limiting contact with family members, or exiting toxic relationships. No matter what it is, you put down your boundary, and now you're free of all toxic people, right? You've kind of done a detox with toxic people. Guess what happens? Because your brain has created this association with happiness and joy with danger and horror or fighting or stress, and there's that paired association, you will try, okay, you're out of the relationship, but you will try to do things that you once loved. You will try to wake up excited the way you once woke up excited. And it's almost like this body is foreign, right? It's almost like you cannot control your body is controlling you. Your conscious mind is saying, I want to be happy, and your body is saying, no. That's dangerous, we're staying like this. And there's this conflict between what you want and what your body is allowing you to do. I watch Joe Dispenza's videos a lot, and he says something interesting in a lot of his videos. He says the body becomes the mind. In other words, the body is now making decisions without your conscious consent. Okay? And again, the reason why your body's doing this is because of those consistent, coercive, psychologically abusive behaviors and that paired association that's causing your body to feel safe in the state of depression. So what happens? Some people try medication, and I have no judgment and I have no say in anyone's medication, okay? Just to let you know, everyone has to make their own educated decision regarding this. However, I've never met somebody that took medication for depression that they were then able to be over the depression without the medication and feel as if not that they're battling depression, but that they have conquered depression. I don't know. If you guys know of anyone that's done that or any medication that helps, then please make sure that you put it in the comment section below. Share your knowledge, share your resources, because you never know whose life you can touch. All I know is that if you're taking medication for depression, but your thoughts stay the same and your body stays the mind, then it's going to be a really hard battle. Okay, so that's why I want to give you some tips that really help. But I'm not going to lie. We get used to being in a world where we take a pill and we feel better. The tips I give are not an overnight automatic, you're going to feel amazing in 24 hours and you're never going to have to look at this again and your life is just going to be like night and day. You have to be willing to try these tools on a consecutive basis, okay? Because your brain and your body with the narcissistic abuse was trained and conditioned. If nothing else, narcissists are consistent. They are consistent in their behaviors, and that conditions and trains a person to change and to stay in the boundaries of those changes. So we now have to be consistent with ourselves when it comes to healing. So I'm going to give you one tip that's really powerful, that if you do this on a daily basis, you will start to see dramatic changes, okay? So when it comes to depression and how much we've changed from who we were, we tend to stare at who we've become. And we stare at it like, you know, look at how depressed I am. I used to be this, but now I'm this. I'm never going to be able to do this, and I can't believe this is who I am, and look at how I am now, and we stay staring at that. We stay staring and focusing at the depression because it is there. So I get it. It's very easy to stare at because it is totally present, right? However, when we stare at it like that and we keep on reaffirming and saying things like that, we're actually reaffirming and keeping strong the neural pathways to keep us in that depression. That's the crazy part. We're accidentally strengthening our depression. So your body has memorized the chemicals needed for depression, okay? Every emotion we have, every feeling, every thought we have, there is a neural pathway that our brain has to follow in order to give us that thought and that feeling and that emotion. Well, when it comes to depression, your brain has that pathway memorized to the point that it has become part of your subconscious programming. And the reason I say that with confidence, that it's part of your subconscious programming, is because you don't have to try to have depression, right? It happens without your conscious consent. So that means it's coming from your subconscious programming, that it's automatic. You have no say in the matter. Well, if your body is the subconscious mind, right? And what we feel in our body is a direct link to what is in our subconscious mind. Okay, and I'll do more videos about this. If you're interested in this topic, which I'm totally fascinated about, please let me know in the comment section below. But just to kind of keep this video without going off in so many different directions, which obviously it can, if your body is the subconscious mind and it's showing you that depression, right, is in your subconscious programming, if you can change what your body feels, you have a direct door into your subconscious programming. So we try to change our subconscious programming with our thoughts. I'm happy, and our subconscious mind is like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And our body feels that lack of happiness. What we feel is from our subconscious mind, what we say is from our conscious mind, and what we feel has so much more weight than what we say, right? So if we realize the truth to that, then all we have to do is change what our body feels in order to penetrate our subconscious mind and start a new program. So what would that look like? That would look like when you wake up in the morning, right? Let's say you want to be enthusiastic about the day because in the past, that's who you were, right? Instead of waking up and noticing your body is not enthusiastic and staring at that and saying, look at how unhappy I am. Look at how, I'm not the way I used to be. Instead of staring at that, you provoke it in your body, which means you might have to do a pattern interrupt. Maybe jump up out of bed, shake your booty, click your heels, do a happy dance, whatever it is, do something physical that changes what's going on in your body. And then take a moment to notice the emotional signature that's coming up in your body. It's going to be different than the depression that's coming up every morning. When you notice that there's something different you're feeling in your body, take a moment to notice how good it feels to feel something other than down and depressed. Because remember, there's a paired association between happiness and danger. If you provoke happiness and you don't notice how good it feels, your brain's going to automatically want to associate it with danger. So provoke it in your body, provoke happiness, provoke joy, provoke silliness, provoke something in your body, and then notice, like, man, that felt really good. That was different. Wow, I haven't felt that in a long time. If you do that on a daily basis, you are training your body again to be who you really are. Someone else trained your body to be someone you're not. They trained your body to be the garbage pail for their negative emotions, but that's not you. But now you have to train your body, and you have to love yourself enough to give yourself that time to do that. I challenge you to put this into practice and let me know how it goes. Keep in mind that these videos, all of my videos, I try to give you as many tips as possible. I'm always trying to provide as much free information as possible. But if you feel like you're watching videos and you're like banging your head against the wall, you're not getting to where you want to go, there are other resources that are designed to help you to deepen your journey. Not only is there face-to-face coaching, but there's also a 30-hour online workshop where we take steps to overcome CPTSD, and we do so in a group of about 20 people. And we work through that healing journey together. So there are resources out there, whether it's through videos, whether it's through one-on-one coaching, or the online workshops. They're all designed to help you to deepen your journey. So make sure if something's not working, make sure you check out those other options, because they just might be the missing key to help you to get exactly where you want to go inside.